I've had to start packing, so my room is an absolute tip. I'm so tired and I've still got so much to do. I've got an exam tomorrow, I've had to revise, and this week's gonna be chaotic. Anyway, I only got 2 more days left of vedim, today and tomorrow, which is kind of sad, but let's just jump into today's video. Film is an amazing thing, allowing you to escape to a world outside of your own. There are classics, absurd, there are good and there are bad films, but each one of them allows you to just sit and relax and de-stress from the real world. I love to analyse films, and some of my favourites aren't action-packed, they aren't funny, they aren't scary, they just tell an amazing story. And the 2015 drama Bridge of Spies, starring Tom Hanks and directed by Steven Spielberg, is one of these. It's a great story about an American lawyer, Tom Hanks, who is trying to execute a deal with the Russians during the Cold War to release an American spy who was captured as prisoner in return for the release of a Russian spy caught by the CIA. Everything from the score to the dramatic pauses and cinematography take what is really quite a simple and boring plot summary to they transform it into this beautiful masterpiece that, despite being nominated for Best Picture in the Oscars and actually winning the Best Actor in a Supporting Role, I believe it was, a lot of people haven't seen it, and I find that really difficult because it is so beautiful. It's just an amazing film and an amazing story. Steven Spielberg is a director who, even if you haven't realised it, you've seen many of his films. Jaws, Schindler's List, E.T., and my personal favourite, Jurassic Park. I'm sure everyone in my generation remembers watching Jurassic Park for the first time, wishing they could go on holiday to see all these magnificent prehistoric creatures roaming around, until it all went wrong. And then they were absolutely terrified and just so scared, but they were just so enthralled by the entire thing that they couldn't stop watching. And that's really stuck with me, and even now, watching as an adult, I can just appreciate the film so much more, and the practical effects especially are just incredible to watch. Especially that first reveal of the dinosaurs when Dr. Alan Grant stands up in the car and it pans to all the brachiosaurs walking in the field, played over this amazing score by Howard Shore. It is just incredible. However, no director, in my opinion, has impacted their respective genre in the same way James Wan has with the horror genre. Modern horror is something so difficult to get right. To make the audience feel suspense, to be scared when you want them to be scared, without doing so in a cheap and meaningless way. The way he establishes a story in Saw, but manages to keep the audience engaged through well-timed flashbacks and jump cuts to different traps, is something really well achieved. And the way he creates suspense and mystery in the Insidious and the Conjuring franchises are completely unique to him, and something really unparalleled in the rest of the genre. I also have a lot of respect for him for leaving the franchise after the first film, because the first film did a great job of providing a story and really just staying with it and creating a whole world in itself. However, people took it far too far in the sequels, and any fan of the series can any fan of the series can admit that they got silly and just gory for the sake of providing that shock factor. But that first film genuinely has a great story with just the best antagonist you can imagine. He's so good. I mentioned James Wan because of the way he's affected the horror genre in such a huge way. And we can also look at the fantasy genre and Peter Jackson with Lord of the Rings for a similar reason. This is probably my favourite trilogy ever made, and Peter Jackson does an amazing job of sticking to the roots created by J.R.R. Tolkien. And the world established in these films through cinematography and special effects is a beautiful one of magic and adventure that it's just simply not easily recreated. And I don't think there has been another film in the fantasy genre that is so well renowned and respected and well loved by everyone. I was also just as taken aback by the Hobbit trilogy as I was the first time I saw Lord of the Rings. And that is something you cannot say for a lot of prequels and sequels nowadays. And how can I make a video on amazing films without mentioning La La Land? And yes, I know it's been months since the hype and the drama surrounding the Oscars and all of that business, but oh my god, was it just an amazing film. Pointing to and taking inspiration from Hollywood classics, but bringing a modern twist to them, Damien Chazelle took everyone by surprise when he released this masterpiece. I don't think anyone was fully prepared for all the emotions they were going to feel while watching this. It's just such a journey that is full of twists and turns and surprises that, except the starry scene, which I wasn't a fan of, I thought it took you out of the moment. Other than that scene, you are completely entranced and fully part of Mia and Sebastian's story that is really unique. So anyway, there's 5 films that I really love. I wouldn't necessarily call some of them my favourites. There's just way too many films to call any film your favourite, really. But I find these so special and unique in their own ways that they're just... you need to watch them and just enjoy them. If you want me to make some more of these videos on some other different films and go maybe more in depth into them, I'd be completely happy to do so. And if you want me to do the reversal of this and do some films that didn't blow me away, that kind of sucked, then yeah, let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, I will see you tomorrow for the final video in Vedim.